Good morning, Pisces. Well, it's taken a while for me to get to you today. I feel very much like Mercury retrograde started early for me. It's only on the 29th. However, I felt everything was lagging. My computer had no more Wi-Fi connection, so I rebooted it, and then it didn't want to reboot. And it finally did. It's just everything is just a little slower. So maybe there's a message in here for you. When I bring up topics, I wanted to let you know it's because Spirit has a message for either one of you or myself to slow down for today or this week, to really take your time at doing something. There's also, I have a few messages to transmit to you from what I could meditate from yesterday to today. I always do that, and yeah, they're great. But first, we're going to talk about the cards that resonated with me for yesterday's reading. We have the Three of Wands, we have the Star, and the Fool. This was the middle row, I believe, of the spread, launching when you've worked all the chakras out and balanced yourself out to trust yourself to take that brand new journey. It's all about fixing that root. It's all about being optimistic. There's a lot of optimism in these three cards that came out in a row, and I believe that's where we need to live as Pisces. As always, I love hearing all the cards that resonated in the readings for you. And some days you guys are so synchronous in your choices. It's absolutely fun to read. There was one day in particular, I think it was a dragon came up in one of the cards, and you guys love that. So I'm going to have to remember to look for dragon cards somewhere. All right, messages from Spirit. So when I talk about paper cuts or anything like that, if any of you have experienced that, it usually means that there's something for you to really listen to. Not that any of you don't, but maybe there's something in particular for you in the messages. If you're having slowdowns, if things feel like molasses, there may be a very important message today in here for you. As always, I haven't said that in a while, but these are general readings. Although my readings talk about things in general, spirituality, energies that you can apply to anything in your life, which I find is more of a fit for a lot of people. Some of it may not resonate, but I do have a playlist with many, many videos of things that might actually resonate. And you can always go there to watch some of those and get resonance for yourself. Get something that really speaks to your inner being, which is part of Source, part of Spirit. Thank you so much for being here and supporting me on this channel. I appreciate all of you. I'm going to be using the Vice Versa Tarot. I haven't used it in a long time, and now I think I've used it twice in 2 weeks. When the decks call me, the decks call me. I just feel that it's got a lot of versatility. It's got a lot to say. I really like that. All right, the first message that I'm going to talk about is something that I saw. Somebody wrote, I've seen heaven, I've seen hell, and I've made it out, or I've seen the difference, or something of the sort. I didn't pay much attention to it, except the words heaven and hell. And right away, Spirit came through and said, there is no heaven or hell. You do know that, right? It's not to say that the heaven, the place you want to go to, is not heaven. It's a different thing. The heaven and hell on earth I'm talking about. Heaven and hell is a really good way of saying contrast. It's just a contrast to show you the way. It's exactly what I was talking about yesterday. When things don't feel good, you're basically experiencing guides telling you, nope, you're on the wrong path. Right. It's the magic. It's the magic that we have forgotten. It's letting us know that we are out of balance, that we don't have all the pieces. The magician has all the pieces. He has the wands, he has the cups, he has the pentacles. He has everything to make things happen for himself. He has the infinity sign, which means he is connected to spirit. He has elevated himself enough so that spirit can make contact, the guides, to help you lead your way. When you experience hell on earth, and I'm not speaking about tragedies that happen, suddenly a tornado drops and takes everything you own. Not those type of things. Suddenly somebody dies. Not those things. However, it is still very much a contrast between happiness and sadness. I'm an avid believer, and it does not mean that you are, that we are here to experience all things. Even the worst of things have been predestined, predetermined by us and our clan who is with us, even the people who come and go early. We've all kind of playing our parts in this life. And all those parts are not without reason. That makes me feel better, especially having miscarried a child at 9 months, where I was almost ready to have this child, and then not being able to have this child in this human life. A lot of people wondered, what is the point? Is there a God? I knew, even then, in full grief, that there was a God, a source, something bigger, that I just wasn't seeing what it was. I did eventually see what this contrast that happened to me, how it played a part in my life, and how it got me here today even. Cassidy Nicole was my daughter. She played a part. She was a spiritual being who was never here for very long, but long enough to help me on my path. Right? To contemplate and think. The Two of Wands. Absolutely. Everything that happens makes you contemplate and think. When it's bad, you're contemplating how to be better, how to get better, how to not feel this way again, to contemplate to take a different road. Always, always. So heaven and hell, it's an exercise in contrast. The other message that I got is some people want an easy way out. And that struck me as a conversation that I had. They think themselves into a future, thinking about how to get out of it in the easiest way possible, as in doing nothing, as in how can I, go past the system and get what I want for nothing. The one thing that some don't realize is that the hard way is trying to get away from doing any work at all. If you do the work, sometimes it is the easy way to get you from point A to point B. I don't know if that makes any sense to you, but it does to me. When they said, I started laughing because I thought, if somebody told these people who are trying to sit back and just collect on other people and the system to make their way into the world could figure out that if they put an ounce of work into it, that it'd be a lot easier than trying to figure out how to get around it, the joke would really be on them. So that was, if you think yourself too much trying to get out of it, you're never getting into the work of things, of anything. This may resonate for some of you, for people that you know. I found it tremendously funny, incredibly hilarious. People associate hard work, this is a 9, 9 is a vine, 9 of cups, with getting what you deserve with a lot of hard work. I wouldn't call it hard work, I would call it precise work. I would call it work in a different way. Focused. Not working for nothing. Work for something. Work towards a goal. Make sure your focus is on something. Make sure what you are doing is going to produce something back to you. In any way, shape, or form. This could be in charities. It's going to give you something back. I also saw something about charities, or people want to be charitable. They go and they'll go into an impoverished country and do the work for them, and they're doing them a disservice, is what they're saying. They're not letting people become self-sufficient. They're giving them the answers. They're giving them the solutions, instead of giving them the tools to find the solutions. Do you understand? So, in other words, this is all tied in. There is no easy way. The easy way is actually hard. You're making it harder. Everything gets harder that way. I don't know how that ties in together. So it's about creating your heaven or hell? Yes, it is. It's all perception, if you think about it, isn't it, Pisces? It is really all perception. One person's hell may be created by the way they are thinking of how to get the easy way out, instead of simply putting and contemplating, putting a little bit of work and seeing the fruits of their labor come true for them. So it is really all the way you perceive things, all the time. All the time. Isn't that wonderful? It also helps if you're very passionate about what you do. This is justice, right? Everything in balance. Fair rewards. The more you balance out the scales, the better it is for you. The more you see the transformation. And there's a scale here that's been discarded in this card because she's facing the other way, looking at the cosmos, looking at the bigger picture. A bigger balance of things. A butterfly. A sword in the back. There's still a scale right here in the front. You see it peeking through. So she is very much still sitting there with a sword and a scale, but there is one behind and a scale on the ground. This is something that was discarded because it was seen as not balanced, not working. If you keep repeating the same thing over and over again, this is for people you know, because this was brought in from somebody else. If you keep trying to recreate an easy way out, and it's not working, then it really isn't an easy way out, isn't? I try not to laugh. I find this hilarious. The whole point is doing quality work. It's not working hard. It's being engrossed in the work that you do and really enjoying it. Really putting your heart and soul in it. Focusing your time in something that you enjoy and love. And putting out quality things. Things that will help you, that will help others, that will empower. You have to empower yourself and you have to empower others. And I believe this is the maybe major message in all of these stories. The contrast is here to show us that we have to empower ourselves. We have to get the tools necessary to empower ourselves. When you help somebody else, empower them. Don't give them the answer. Let them find their answers, such as I like to do here with this Pisces channel. Pisces, I want you to be empowered. I want to see you strong and victorious. I don't want you weak and begging people or energy workers, please give me the answer. Please, just give me the answer. You have the answer. You don't need that. You need to look within yourself. You are strong. You are empowered. You know where you're going. Absolutely. The Five of Swords. What I get from this card is, see you holding those swords, and there's some at the ground. You have plenty. You have plenty. However, you see this one turning their back, walking away. Again, it is something that some people will simply not understand. They just won't. It doesn't matter what you say. They'll say, no, there's got to be an easy way out. No, it feels bad simply because it's the difference between heaven and hell. I'm in hell on earth, never considering that they put themselves there. There's not much you can do. You have all the cards. You have all the swords. You can bring a horse to water, can't make them drink. This is you, Pisces. Stand the line. Hold the line. Know your truth. Help people who will help themselves. God helps those who help themselves. Yes, Dad. Yes, Dad. Here's my father. He used to say that all the time. Day in, day out. Okay. So we have the Three of Wands. We're going from contemplating to balancing. Look at the fire and the water. It's also showing up as a yin and yang. I'm sorry if there's a bit of a glare. It just goes to prove that everything today is not working as it should. But it is. It's working enough to get my message out to you, Pisces. The Three of Wands. In armor, ready for battle, balanced, one flaming wand in his hand, and two ready at his side. Stepping into your power. Empowered, Pisces. You are empowered. I was thinking of that. I was looking for this card. The Six of Wands. Victory. This is your own personal victory. I feel that there is a small group that will definitely put up their arms and their voices in unison to be by your side, to congratulate you in everything that you do. There's some that won't. It's not going to be a whole ton of people. Maybe a small group. Maybe when you share it here and somebody says, way to go. When I give you those hug emojis. Those are people who are they're really happy for your victory. They're really happy for your victory. Some are not. I'm getting some are not. They're trying to be, but they're stuck in their own hell. Their perceived failure. That instead of looking or asking how you can empower them by giving your advice, your best tips, the way to go, they're going to continue looking for this easy, not so easy way out. Four of Wands. Celebrating towards the sunshine. I just love that little, what is it, a duck? No, it's a dove or a pigeon. I think it's a pigeon. I have 2 pigeons in my yards. They are so big. They're humongous, but beautiful. They're blue-gray and beautiful pigeons. Look at this. You have again with the wands. It's a lot of victory, but small victories. Things that are making you feel like you are definitely going on the right path. You have the fruit. You have the vines. You have everything growing here. You have people who are happy with you. Celebrations. This is very fertile in its depiction. It's a very happy, the sun, you're moving towards the sun. Very nice. I love that we're getting all these wands today. It's incredible. All this row is wands. You now have the 7 of Wands. You're looking at these wands. I was just thinking, because this deck has nobody holding the wands. I'm trying to remember if the other deck you can actually see it. It's just the angle of it. You actually see that there's nobody holding the wands. They've been laid down on the ground. This indicates a victory on your part. The different obstacles that have come through, you have gotten past. You have gotten past all of these obstacles. Why, Pisces? Because you are thinking outside the box. You are thinking in different ways. You're thinking in contrast. What is my intuition and my guides trying to make me see? There is a reason for all. Everything is here for you to learn from. It all depends on you and what you decide to do with it. Are you going to work hard for something in passion, or put a little bit of effort, I should say, into something to make it happen? Or are you simply going to try to think your way an easy way out, which is not easy at all? It's causing you a lot of nightmares. If you put the work into something that you're passionate and love, you will see results. You will see results, Pisces. They're telling me this. You will see results in whatever you put in. If you're wishing upon a star or hoping for an easy way out without actually doing anything for it, they've been telling me, because a lot of people put in, well, what about people who win lotteries? Have you ever seen lottery winners a couple years down the road, is what they're telling me? They do some of those videos. You should check those out. A lot of people didn't find happiness. So is the easy way out the happy way out? No. No. Be proud. It's time to celebrate all that you've achieved, all that you are. Right here, Pisces. Right here, Pisces. And all that you will become. Yes. It's time, let me start that again. It's time to celebrate all that you've achieved, all that you are, and all that you will become. Every once in a while, it's important to stop and acknowledge what you've achieved and be proud. Now, I'm not saying go full on into ego, but ego is good when used, such as the mind. Too much of one is no good. A right balance of one is good. It is okay to acknowledge the good work that you've done and be proud of yourself, Pisces. If anybody needs it, it is our sign. We are so self-deprecating. We will beat ourselves with a stick constantly. It's time for you to celebrate yourself. I love the way that she's holding her hand in front of her heart. She has peacock feathers coming out. That's right. Strut your stuff, Pisces. It is time for you to really let it shine. You've worked hard. You've worked hard. Please make sure before you leave that you pick something that resonates here in the reading, a card. Still have a few more to take out. If you would like to show your support, other than subscribing and hitting that notification bell to all, pressing that like button, which is awesome. That's the biggest way you can support me. There are other ways in the description box below. Okay? Unexpected visitors. I'm getting from this, Pisces, that these people that I've been talking to about, the ones who are expecting easy while making it harder, this message is coming in for some of you right now because you will be visited by somebody such as this. And this was to, I don't know, put that lesson, bring that lesson home is what I'm hearing. Bring it in so that you can understand that this is something that is important to know. To show you an example of people who try to get it easy, and does it really make them happier? I don't believe so. I don't believe so. I will pull from the book and see if there's anything relevant, but I do believe that's what this is. Unexpected visitor. You're going to get somebody coming in, somebody you haven't heard from in a while, who's definitely going to make you see the contrast in the path you are and the path that they're on. Right. Detour, surprises, and paradigm shifts. Exactly. So this is really what I'm seeing. It says about plans being waylaid and stuff, but I do find that it's the paradigm shift, this knowledge of looking at the contrast of how somebody else is doing. We get so busy doing our own lives right now that when somebody from the past, meaning that we don't have access to a lot of people or the same group of people, so you get used to that. But then somebody from our past comes in and we've been busy doing all of this work, and suddenly it brings a whole new, a whole new chess piece to the chess board. A whole new way of thinking of things. Their definition of easy, your definition of easy, your definition of how to get things done. How others seem to fool themselves. How definitions change. That's the big one. Let's take you a beautiful tea TLC for the Soul card. Actually, it's this one that I want. Seasons. I changed it. It was just the card underneath. Letting go is liberating. But if you continue to resist by hanging on, then you will prolong your grief and stifle your progress. There is a cosmic place where stale opinions and philosophies go to disintegrate. Exactly. Right? Sometimes friendships end up at that place too, either from lack of care or simply because you've grown and matured. It's important to take the time to empty out the things we are no longer willing to give attention to. Or you could decide that something is worthy of reclaiming. A new season of your soul life is upon you. Release in order to receive and invite the healing in. Such as I was telling you, to revisit options for certain things, to get insight on things that you had dismissed when you were in a different frame of mind. Now things from the past will also be returning. People, ideas that make you realize there is a different perspective, just as the one I gave you this morning. The easy way may be the hard way, right? I'm going to take the one that first came out, just because if I was looking at this reading and seeing that I had put one card away, I would have said, hey, I want to know what that is. So I'm going to show you what that is. At home on the inside. I love that. Isn't that pretty? Inside you is a flame of light that remains unwavering during life's challenging experiences. This silently reassuring witness meets you each time you settle into yourself and step through the passage between breaths. Oh, I'm so happy I kept this one. Let's say that again. This silently reassuring witness meets you each time you settle into yourself and step through the passage between breaths. I like that. There you are, met with your wise soul self. It takes hold of each challenge and uses it as fuel for your spiritual growth. Rest in the safety of this serenity. Do away with stabbing small memories that starve you of your faultlessness. Feel the all-encompassing love that flows through your soul into your heart with its life-affirming rays. At home on the inside, look at that beautiful card. I'm going to leave it up here. If you guys want to take a screenshot, I do that sometime, and bring it with me. It is gorgeous, Pisces. So, on the top of the deck, because they're vice versa cards, you have the Hermit card, Inner Wisdom. That's what we were talking about here. And on the underneath, we have that Knight of Swords, going on into the great beyond with a lot of power, facing the storms, facing the contrasts. But we do it with wisdom. I really like that. We're looking out. Wisdom. There's the moon. Intuition. We have a lot going for us. I'm getting from Spirit, we're moving faster than many because we have the wisdom to look inside to get the answers, to realize that we really are in control of everything we do, even when we feel we are out of control. There's always a different perspective. I'm going to leave this here because I'm doing another one later, the extended. Thank you so much for being here. I'm sending you lots of love, light, and blessings, Pisces. Take good care of yourself. Stay safe. And I think you're fantastic. Keep being wonderful, your beautiful soul that you are. Take care.